What's a little known but obvious fact that will immediately make all of us feel stupid? Story 1. The Los Angeles Angels are basically saying the Angels Angels when all in English. Edit. Holy crap, I now know what they mean by rip inbox. I went to bed and came back to several hundred comments. Thanks for the gold, silver, kind strangers, and all that good stuff. The La Brea Tar Pits is the Tartar Pits. Chai tea is tea. Sahara Desert is desert. Lake Tahoe is lake. Sharia law is law. El Camino Way is the way. Soviet Union is union. Mississippi River is big river. Hula Dance is dance. DC Comics is Detective Comics. Edit. To add a few more that people have pointed out, ATM machine is automated teller machine. SAT test is standard aptitude test. PIN number is personal identification number. VIN number is vehicle identification number. Pendle Hill is hill or hill. Shrimp Scampi is shrimp. Lake Michigan is Lake Big Lake. Koala Bear is bear. Vermont Mountain, Vermont is Green Mountain. The Ferrari La Ferrari is the Ferrari. Mountain Fujiyama is Mount Fuji Mountain. UPC code is Universal Product Code. Mount Fuji is Mount or Mountain. Table Mesa is table. Torpenhow Hill is hill. The Rio Grande River is the Big River. Coronary heart disease is heart disease. AC current is alternating current. HIV virus is human immunodeficiency virus. Master Shifu, the character from Kung Fu Panda, is Master. LAN network is local area network. LCD display is liquid crystal display. PDF format is portable document format. Panera bread is bread. Okay, folks, a lot of these are amusing and fun, but a lot of them I've never heard a person say. For instance, I've never heard someone say HIV virus. They just say HIV. Think I'm not going to notice you padding this story out? Story 2. A location is tropical if it falls between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. In the U.S., only Hawaii is tropical, and only barely. South Florida is also very close to the Tropic of Cancer, but is north of it and thus not tropical. That would be why Florida is generally referred to as having a subtropical climate. Story 3. Violent crime in the U.S. has fallen over 50% since 1994. Think about that for a moment. We only think it is more because of social media and 24-hour news stations where we hear more than before. Despite some spikes every once in a while, violent crime has been plummeting for 25 years. Edit. Well, this blew up while I was sleeping. If you want to know more, read Better Angels of Our Nature by Steven Pinker. The world is getting better, well, in this respect. Things are not all doom and gloom. Divorce has been plummeting in the U.S. since the 1970s as well. Ask anyone to guess, and they'd assume it's tripled or quintupled or something. Nah, just become a more common plot line in TV and movies. Story 4. Around 70% of all car accidents happen within 10 miles of your home, because over 70% of your driving is within 10 miles of your home. It's a statistic driving teachers love to toss out there that most accidents happen close to your home, but if you think about it, most of your driving is close to your home. Even if you live 20 miles to work, 50% of your driving will take place 10 miles from your home. The average commute is around 15 miles, and most people shop close to home, so it's really common sense that the majority of your driving will take place in that 10-mile radius, even if you travel further for work or other activities. Why is everyone having all these car accidents next to my house? I feel like this is the same thing as that you're more likely to get into a car accident than in a plane crash. And I'm like, well, yeah, I spend like 500 times more time in a car than I do on a plane. Story 5. Words that are spelled the same but pronounced with emphasis on different syllables are actually indicative of the part of speech it is. Stress on the first syllable is a noun. Stress on the last syllable is a verb. Examples: contract and contract. The former is a noun, sign this contract, whereas the latter is a verb, the muscles contract. Same with record, address, impact, object, and a few others. Oh wow, I've never really paid attention to this. This is so interesting. Story 6. Everyone has seen shows or movies about traveling circuses mainly in the 1930s or 1940s. During the Depression, running away to join the circus was a semi-reasonable option. Many people scoff at the Florida law where you must feed the meter when you park your elephant. Those circuses had a travel season and heavily relied on summer and warmer months. They would spend the winter in Florida until the next travel season. AHS even had an entire season about this. In 1979, my 42-year-old neighbor divorced his wife and ran off to the circus. He immortalized this in the divorce papers. Reason? Wife won't join the circus with me. He cared for the elephants. Story 7. Covered bridges are designed with roofs to protect and preserve the wooden structure from the elements. Without the cover, they'd last about 20 years. With the cover, they can last up to 100. They're not built that way just to look charming. They were built with walls to keep horses from freaking out pulling buggies over water and ravines. The roofs were added to finish them off and keep the expensive and important wood structure dry. I refuse to believe this. I am certain the person building a bridge just went, "This bridge isn't nearly quaint and cute enough. I'm going to spend another couple weeks making it look charming with a little roof, damn it." Story 8. 911 operators have no effing clue where you are instantly unless you're on a landline. You have to say where you are. It's not our fault movies made you think we have a spy-level video of you in your car. Know your location. I was on a rural stretch of Canadian highway and came upon a bad accident with injuries and a car on its roof. There was no mobile service, so I drove until I got to a signal to call an ambulance. But when I got through, I had no safe space to pull over and lost signal before giving all the details. When I got the signal back, I had the most amusing message on our voicemail. "Hi, this is Andrew from Emergency Services. If you can give me a call back, my number is, 911? So I call back, and the best description I could give going west was the big curve after the park approximately this many clicks from this town. They found it no problem. Sometimes it's a matter of being specific enough. Story 9. The Terminator didn't need a heads-up display in his visual system. His system already had access to all of that information anyway, otherwise how could it display it? Redisplaying it in a form that would have to be visually interpreted would be a complete waste of time. You all act like you haven't had to debug something before. Well, the machines designed the Terminator, you say. The Terminators were all show, inefficient, and ineffectual. Not only did the machines neglect to delete redundant debug visual interfaces, they didn't even bother to disable it before release. Look, if you want to get into the problems with the Terminator movies, we'll be here all day. For instance, in Terminator Salvation, they're in a robot factory, and there are controls designed for hands and lights. Robots don't need that crap. Story 10. When a nurse gives you an IV, they aren't leaving the metal needle inside your arm. They actually remove that and only a soft plastic tube remains. So you don't need to keep your arm that straight. Relax. Edit. Holy crap. Oh, okay, I'll keep it short and sweet. I am not a doctor. I just listened to Sawbones' podcast most recent episode and found out this fact myself. Wow. Thank you so much for the karma and coins. I don't know what to do now. I'm also really happy my most upvoted comment is about something kinda smart and not butts. Thank you, Sydney McElroy, MD. Needle pierces into the vein, then guides the catheter as the nurse slides the catheter into the vein. Metal needle is removed. Still best not to move or agitate the area where IV is placed to avoid obstructing the flow through the catheter. Please like and subscribe if you've made it this far. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the video and have a wonderful day. Story 11. You can take a quart-sized Ziploc bag through TSA full of the little travel bottles of liquor as you can fit in there. It's completely legal. Now, the airline might not approve of you pouring your own drinks, but it makes layovers and hanging out in the terminal much easier. Edit, so this blew up. I definitely don't want anyone to break the law. All I was saying is that it's a thing and you can go through the TSA just fine with your own booze. Just be smart about it. Also, I fixed the. Also, hangovers and laying out in the terminal. Story 12. The little piggy didn't go to the market for shopping. True, he shops online now. Story 13. Just like humans, British cows moo in regional accents. Moo. Ooh, it's time for Moonly Facts Region Cows. I say, moo, old bean. We moo. Guten Tag. Story 14. Cats, dogs, and other similar animals can't see directly below their faces because their snout gets in the way. That's why you have to point out the treat a million times. They're not stupid. The damn thing is just in their blind spot. Horses, too. They have another blind spot behind their tails. Story 15. The word set has the most amount of definitions in a single word. A set of sets are set upon a tea set offered to set as the sun set. Story 16. Factoids have a second definition, a false fact that is generally accepted as the truth. Story 17. Antisocial means that you are hostile or harmful to organized society, as in being or marked by behavior deviating sharply from the social norm. Asocial is rejecting or lacking the capacity for social interaction. Except language evolves and changes over time, and when everybody knows that when you say antisocial, you actually mean asocial, then that is now what antisocial means. Look, I was an English major. It hurts me sometimes too. But if you demand that every word only ever retain its very original meaning, then English will be in a lot of trouble. Story 18. The words laser and scuba are actually acronyms, and they stand for laser, light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation; scuba, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus; taser's one too, Thomas A. Swift's electric rifle. Story 19. The word helicopter has two components. They aren't heli and copter, they are helico and pater. Helico, helix, and pater, wing, like the pterodactyl. So, my quest to invent the timecopter is a load of nonsense. Thanks, I'm not inventing the timepter. That's just silly. Like an archaeologist, my life is in ruins. Story 20. Potatoes didn't arrive in Europe until the 16th century. It's so ubiquitous you think it would have been a part of English culture since like 10,000 BC. Likewise, tomatoes in Italy, chilies, and peanuts in India. Story 21. My favorite thing to tell people. Penguins swim faster than Michael Phelps. Remember that Discovery special that pitted a shark against him to see who was faster? Completely stupid, because even shark food swims faster than he does. Sharks eat penguins, to clarify. No, you aren't allowed to do that. I love both sharks and penguins, and in my world they are best friends. Story 22. When extracting organs for donation, doctors need to keep the body alive, obviously through machines, but they need to keep the blood pumping. Edit. Since this blew up, I do want to clarify that, as mentioned in the comments, some organs can be harvested after death. But main organs like heart and lungs need to be receiving oxygen. I found out not too long ago that when someone gets a kidney transplant, they don't take the old kidneys out, they just implant the new ones in the recipient's body cavity. Story 23. Tear ducts drain tears, they don't produce them. Drain them to where? Also, what produces them? Story 24. It was never mentioned that Humpty Dumpty was an egg. Why were the horses trying to reassemble Humpty Dumpty? Story 25. Thee and thou were actually the informal forms. The King James Bible used them so that the relationship with God would seem more personal. There's no such thing as ye, meaning thee. It's thee, but spelled with an archaic letter that signifies the TH sound. As that letter thorn disappeared from the English language, people would replace it in writing with a Y because it can look like a small thorn, depending on your handwriting and the instrument you use to write. So, ye old X is actually the old X. The letter is not supposed to be a Y. Ooh, I actually knew this one. I mean, I've known a lot of them, but for some reason this one is the one I'm most proud of knowing. Hence why I am making sure to say it out loud. Be impressed with me! Story 26. Pufferfish are filled with water, not air. It wouldn't even make sense, yet a lot of people are like, what? True, but pufferfish actually can and do fill themselves with air when on land. Story 27. You don't actually bite down. You bite up because of your lower jaw. I hate you for making me painfully self-aware of this. Story 28. The plural version of cul-de-sac is cul-de-sac. Story 29. Elephants have some of the closest-looking breasts to humans beside primates, of course. 2 of them. You just kind of look at female elephants in the context you usually see them, and whoop, there it is, and you can't unsee it ever again. That's not the only thing I have in common with an elephant, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I have a pretty big nose. Story 30. Almost all samples of sea salt that you can buy in supermarkets are contaminated by microplastics from all the crap in the ocean. And many of the pink Himalayan salts are actually dyed so that people think they are getting healthy minerals when they in fact aren't. Dissolve a tablespoon of pink salt in a little bit of water and see if it turns pink even a tiny little bit. If it does, you've been had. Story 31. If you touch a baby bird, the mother will not reject it. I don't even know who came up with it. Probably a parent who didn't want a wild animal in the house. Story 32. World Wide Web contains fewer syllables than its intended short form www, thus making the shorter version longer to say. Edit. Grammar. I just say www. Story 33. There's a D in the fridge, but not in the refrigerator. It really bothers me. Who's to say you can't put the D in the refrigerator? Story 34. You know that old statistic that the average person eats 3 spiders in their sleep each year? That was an intentionally made-up statistic by a journalist to elicit the point that people will believe any statistic the media will tell them. Edit. Apparently it's 8 that is commonly said, and apparently even the origin of this myth itself is ironically not factual. Yes, everyone knows it's actually 8 spiders per year. Can't fool me. See, the truth is you don't eat the spiders. They just carefully crawl into your nose and lay eggs in your sinuses. Oh, God damn it. As an arachnophobe, I actually just kind of freaked myself out imagining that. Hoisted with my own petard. Story 35. Just like a dormitory is a place where you sleep, a laboratory is a place where you labor. Observatory is where you observe. Lavatory is where you wash, lavare in Latin for wash. Repository is where you store things. Reponere is Latin for put away / store. Factory is where you make things. Factor in Latin for doer / maker. Story 35. It's a safe deposit box, not a safety deposit box. This guy doesn't Neopets. Story 37. When water boils, it is the same temperature no matter how big the bubbles are. Edit. I know I have described this in a 4th grade science kind of way. That's why we have pressure cookers. If you increase the pressure, you raise the boiling temp, meaning you can cook foods hotter and faster. That literally just reminded me that I'm making some chicken stock in my pressure cooker. I gotta go check on that. Video over. Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.